Hi boys, today I am gonna be remaking the old Raze guide I made, the big one, the one that kind of made my channel, and yeah, it's kind of old, kind of outdated. I wasn't very good at making videos, let's be real. But yeah, we're just gonna go straight back in depth again. And if you don't know me, I'm a Raze gamer, I'm a Mortal 2 Duelist player. I've been playing this game pretty much since beta. You can see back here, I was bad. But yeah, we've been grinding the game and might be able to teach you a thing or two you didn't know about Raze, so let's go. Alright, so we're gonna just start off with Raze's abilities. Now, Raze's abilities, they're kind of simple, but all of them pretty much have a high skill cap to them. You can see them all here. At first, we have got our Boombot, and even if you know all these abilities, just watch, because you might not know a thing or two I'm going to talk about, so I would just recommend you watch it anyway, even if you know what Raze's abilities do, which most of us do. But for all the new players who want to play Raze, we've got this section anyway. So, to start off, we have our Boombot, right? Our Boombot is just a little ability you equip. You see, he's got a little smiley face on the bottom right. He winks at you every once in a while. But Boombot, you just equip him, toss him out, he'll bounce off everything he hits, and if he ever spots anyone, he'll run at them and just blow up and deal 80 damage. Now, it usually doesn't deal 80 damage. It's, like, inconsistent, because as people are running away, the center point moves, so they just don't deal the max damage, unless they're pretty much sitting in a corner. But yeah, they'll do about 80 damage, and they have nerfed this thing so many times, by the way. We have lost half the duration on this, and a lot of the health, compared to when I made the last Raze guide. So, Boombot, he's got slapped on the wrist more than once. Always, it will do the same thing though. Great tool. Honestly, all of Raze's abilities are amazing. For a duelist especially. She has info gathering and space clearing, which is pretty much what you need. The only issue with the Raze as an agent is she doesn't have smokes, but you can actually, there's like a secret smoke you can use, right? You can use your nade as a like mini smoke. It's quite situational, but it's like a mini smoke, so we have that anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much the Boombot. He just bounces around and does some damage, gives you info, pretty strong ability overall. And then we probably have one of the best abilities in the whole game, other than maybe like a Killjoy turret, but we've got the satchels, right? The satchels can be used in an infinite number of ways. I've got a full in-depth satchel guide, like up here. It should be there. I can leave an annotation there, but yeah, the satchels are amazing. They can deal damage. They can move enemies. They can move you. They can be comboed together for 2 satchels, and you can go really far. They can be comboed with your ultimate. They can even combo with your Boombot. See, he'll jump up in the air, he'll fly around. It's pretty cool, honestly. Satchels is pretty much what makes Raze an agent. We really like the satchel charges. But yeah, some of the like simple ones are, some of the ones you'll use most often is like the sideways satchel, where you use this, let's say you're taking a fight like this, right? You're taking a fight on maybe this guy here. You swing out wide, take a fight, and then you can satchel out, kind of like a mini jet dash. Very, very good. You can use it as a peek as well. Something like this. You saw, like, the way you do that, by the way, is you throw it up on the wall. You jump out and crouch, and you'll get, like, a super wide swing. You can also do it, like, here. Well, I kind of like the crouching one more, because it catches more people off guard. Very, very, very strong ability. Then we also have got our nade. Our nade, actually, one more thing about the satchel, right? So the satchel has 2 different ways of dealing damage. If you throw it directly at an enemy, you'll see it'll do 15. And if you blow it up straight away, it'll only do 15 damage. But if you wait for that first beep, just listen. I'll turn up the audio so you can all hear it. After this first beep, it will do 50. You see that beep? You see when the satchel goes green? This thing? On the very first beep, it will do 50 rather than 15. So that's pretty much the satchel. Again, I'll have a smaller in-depth section here. But I do have a full in-depth guide that is linked, so that will be there for everyone that needs that. And then we have the nade, right? The nade, very simple. It's a grenade, right? It blows up twice, as you can see. A lot of area coverage, a lot of damage, to be honest. Like, I would show you on this bot, but I think it will boop away. Even more than that. That's losing some damage. But yeah, the grenade, just a grenade, bounces around, bounces off walls. The only thing I can really say about the grenade is there's different ways to throw the grenade, right? I'm going to demonstrate it on this wall, okay? So you have like the standing still grenade. And it will just go like this, right? Then you have like the running nade, right? You see it comes way further out. So you like chuck the nade off the wall. Then you have the walking backwards nade, and you'll see it goes a lot less far. And you also have like a jumping nade. You see how high it goes. And you can combo all of these together, right? So you can run backwards and throw it. You can run forwards and throw it if you really want to chuck that grenade. You see how far it goes. And you can even do it left and right, but there's like no use cases for going left and right, so I'm not even going to mention it really. But yeah, this is the grenade. It's very strong. You can combo different ways with it. Like you can see, if I run and jump, if I'm aiming about here, it will still go over the wall. So you can really, like, you have to get used to this. As long as you know those little mechanics of how the grenade throws, you can do whatever you need with it, right? And you've also just got a right click for the grenade, which is for stuff like this, right? You want to right click it over a wall. So you can run, jump, and right click it. And the right click applies as well to all the different properties of like running, jumping, all that stuff. And that's pretty much the grenade. And then we have the ultimate, right? So the ultimate, it's a big ass rocket launcher, right? It blows up everything in its path, but except it usually kills no one and you die, right? That's usually what happens with Raze Rocket. Now, you're going to probably do a lot of inting with this ability, but you're also going to pop off a lot with this ability. It's very 50-50. The only thing you can really know about the ultimate is the proper ways to combo it with your satchel, right? So most people, they do this, right? They'll just do stuff like this, and they'll just... It's very slow, right? It's just very slow, right? So people do this, and then it's super slow, super clunky, right? The actual way to combo it with just one satchel, which is the most consistent way, by the way, is I'm going to do it very slow first, and then I'm going to show you, right? So you ult, satchel, run, jump, and shoot, right? That's how you do it, right? Now, when you do that faster, it looks like this. Right? See how fast that is compared to the first one? The way you do it, right, is you have to ult, and then you cancel the ult animation with the satchel. And even when you do this, there's still a small delay, okay? So you see, there's still that annoying delay. I was spam clicking there. So the way you do this to get it instantly like that is you ult satchel, wait for a second, jump, and fire. It's that small delay that makes it look really clean, right? You see how quick that is? It's so instant, undodgeable. Now, there is double satchels and stuff, which the way you do that one is you throw a satchel, and then you do it like this, right? See how clean that looks? The way you do that is you throw your first satchel, you run, jump, blow it up, activate your rocket in the middle of your second satchel, and then you blow it up. It's hard, you just need to know the ability combo, right? So like this. That's how you do the double satchel. Now, double satchel is way more advanced, so I wouldn't worry about it. I also have it in my satchel guide, so that's pretty much all of Raze's abilities. We went over everything there is to really know. The only other thing is there was a hidden passive on your satchel before, where you could blow up like sage walls very quickly. That was removed, and the satchel doesn't blow up like walls or utility anymore, and they actually moved it onto the grenade. So your grenade blows up sage walls, and it blows up like killjoy ults and any sort of utility really well, and your satchel doesn't do that anymore. Because I remember the old guide, I was telling all of you about it, it doesn't do that anymore. So that's all of Raze's abilities, and we'll move on to the next section. Alright, so we're going to start off with just why pick Raze. Raze is one of the best duelists in the game right now as of this patch, but she's also just always been a very high skill cap character, very high movement capabilities, just crazy plays you can make with this agent, and she is very fun. That is another key. She's very versatile, got so much utility in her kit compared to other duelists like the Boombot. That's kind of an initiator ability, but she has access to it. She's got insane movement with her satchels, really good area coverage, just a very strong agent. And on top of that, she is very fun, I'm not going to lie to you. But that is some of the main reasons. She's also very easy to pick up. Raze is not a complicated agent to pick up, but she is very hard to master, and that's the key. And for me personally, I really like agents that are hard to master, which is why I've always fallen for Raze as an agent. Same with, for me, I like Neon, I like Jet, I like Raze. Though if you like those type of agents, those crazy movement agents, Raze is definitely the type of agent for you. So yeah, that's pretty much the main reasons why you'd pick her. She's very good, very fun. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna go over here is the pistol and how to eco properly. This is what I done last in my other guide, but I think it's very important just to start the game off properly, right? So, Raze has got a couple buys here on your pistol round, right? So you've got a ghost and a boombot, a very standard buy, uses all your credits, that's whatever, right? You've got a straight up sheriff, which is situational. If you're playing for mid control, let's say on Ascent or something, one of those longer range maps, maybe Breeze if you're playing Raze on Breeze, the sheriff is a decent little buy. You've also got the frenzy. Now, the GOAT himself, Jinggg, always buys a frenzy. I'm not gonna lie, this guy is, but he's kind of built differently. This gun is, it's a very weird gun. It can be very, very strong. The shorty buy is kind of dead. I'm not gonna lie to you, you can kind of still buy like double satchel shorty, but it's not great. You don't have the armor like you used to, which is kind of where it was strong. So I don't really see myself buying the shorty anymore on that pistol round. But my favorite buy right now has been light armor with double satchel. Very, very, very strong, for especially on this attack, which we're gonna go over attack here, that's why we're on split. Very, very strong for taking space quickly, and it kind of goes back into Raze's identity as a character, which is taking space quickly and fighting aggressively. So this has kind of been like my favorite buy. The other ones are a bit more mix and match. Like a ghost and a satchel is actually okay. A lot of people more go for the boombot, but I don't mind a ghost and a satchel. It gives you that little bit of mobility, that little bit of mid-range. I would say if you don't know what to buy on pistol, a very safe buy is just this. If you know exactly what your plan is, and if it's going aggressively, you can't go wrong with the double satchel plus classic combo. Or you can even go for the classic plus boombot. It's not a bad buy. There's a lot of flexibility here. A lot of different buys compared to some other agents who don't have much. So it's very much more situational. Now, again, you're gonna have to see the different things for eco, right? So let's say I'm playing attack here, right? I'm playing attack, I use up my abilities, and we end up losing the round, right? So I'm just gonna quickly, you know, in-game off myself, and we will see exactly how much credits we have, right? So we lost the round, we didn't plant the bomb.
Okay, I only have like
We end up with this amount of credits here, 1900, right?
hopefully that's enough.
So you have a couple buys here you can
Need a
do.
spike.
I've been kind of going for something like this a lot of the time, with a bit more utility and a frenzy, or you can go double satchel. If you got any kills as well, keep in mind kills will give you 200 credits. So if you got any kills at all, you can actually buy full util plus frenzy. Or even if you got the bomb down, because the bomb is 300, remember? So I've been kind of rocking with something like this, or even a shorty with full util. Especially, I actually have been really liking it on defense with a shorty. You can see even no kills at all. You get this magic number of 3300, which means I can buy light armor plus a rifle next round. Guaranteed. I don't need anything else. I don't need a bomb plant. I can buy light armor plus a rifle, which is very, very good. The other buys are something like this, which I've kind of been falling off of, unless I get the bomb down. I haven't really been buying the sheriff as much. Just because I felt like I can get, I don't know, man. The meta seems very cheesy right now, where I can kind of grab myself a lot of random kills. I think the shorty's still a very good weapon, even after its nerfs, which is why I've kind of been gravitating towards that. So something like a sheriff, you can buy this. Just remember, your next buy, it's not as strong, because you don't have much utility. So that is also an option. I would never be buying the ghost after pistol round. I think this gun's just bad after pistol round, I'm not gonna lie to you. If the enemy buy heavy armor, it takes 1 headshot and 2 body shots. Really just not a great weapon, not really worth it at all. And you could also just run with a classic, but I don't really like just running with a classic. You don't have much power. Like, you need a lot of lucky RNG to get these right clicks in order to get people picked off. So I haven't really been rocking with the classic after you lose pistol round. Now, if you win pistol round, it's a completely different story, because you basically have infinite money. You always pretty much go for, like, you either go full arm or Spectre, which I'll just max out my credits here. Actually, no, I'll show you properly. Alright, so if you win the pistol round, your money's gonna look a bit more like this, right? So usually you're just gonna go for, like, heavy armor plus a Spectre, and if you have this amount of credits, I usually go for double satchel. If you have like 300 credits, I usually will go for just a boombot. Or if you have an awkward credits, we can buy boombot and +1 satchel. I think that's better than having both on an anti-eco. Sorry, I just got a hiccup. Because the boombot, it does a lot of damage. Keep in mind, the enemies when they're on eco are usually gonna just have 100 HP. Boombot does 80, it's pretty much a free kill. So you're usually gonna buy something like this. And if you got a couple of kills, you can also rock with like a judge. I think the judge is very strong. You can see right now, I have pistol armor, or I have light armor from pistol round, so I can't sell it. But if you did get a couple of kills, you can go for something like this where you buy armor and a judge. Not bad, especially on maps like this. It's very, very strong. So I would recommend that too, as well. Judge playstyle is like a real thing. I think it's very strong. And another crazy buy you can buy, actually, by the way, I've been kind of rocking with, is the Bookie. I've been trying out the Bookie again recently. I think this gun's actually kind of underrated, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's kind of strong. But that's pretty much all your pistol round buys. The magic number, if you lose, is 3,300, and you want a little bit of utility with you under your belt. As long as you have that 3,300 number in mind, you can buy whatever. Of course, heavy armor is very nice, but we even seen Fnatic won a championship without buying heavy armor, so I think light armor is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, we'll move ahead on to Raze on attack and what her actual role is. Alright, so Raze's role on attack, you are very much the entry fragger, and you're mainly the first guy into a fight, right? So what you need to do a lot of the time is capitalize on other people's utility, right? So everyone else on your team is kind of a support player for you. The thing that makes Raze good, like that goes for all duelists, by the way, that's not just Raze. It's the thing that makes Raze so good though is the fact of, I think her abilities are just really strong right now. And she has a boombot, which is pretty much an initiator utility, but on a duelist. Right? Very, very, very good piece of utility to have here. But your best friend as Raze is anyone playing initiator, right? Because they will give you either information or crowd control that lets you fly out, right? Because if there's no utility here, there's no smokes, there's no nothing, and I just go and double satchel out, you know what I mean? I'm kind of just stuck in the open here. I'm probably dead. Whereas if we start getting our smokes in, let's say, you know, our Omen smokes come down, one here, and a Breach stun comes out, and Breach uses his like blow up thing back sight. Now this looks a lot better for Raze. If this whole line gets stunned, maybe here gets stunned, now I'm allowed to double satchel out. And that's the key, right? Your key isn't usually to actually make space, it's to take space. So your initiators will make the space for you, and then you will take that space really quickly, and that's the power in Raze, right? So all of those stuns and all that util come out for you, and you're able to just fly out, and then you can take an easy gunfight on this guy, right? That's the key as duelist, and especially as Raze, because you have not got smokes. Alright, Jet can dash out here on her own, unless there's a Cypher setup, then she can't. But Jet can dash out here on her own, whereas Raze, you need to at least combo your own utility together, but usually you want someone to help you out with it, right? So as Raze, you can nade here, right? And you can satchel backside. And it will work, but it's a lot more consistent on attack if you have that best friend Breach, you know what I mean? If you get buddy with a Breach in a ranked game, it's GG, instantly, already over. But that is your role. It's to take space, or well, yeah, it's to take the space that your team is allowing you to take, and that's why it can feel very, very hard as duelists sometimes when your teammates aren't working together. Especially in higher elo brackets, it can be very frustrating because you can just go out and aim duel everyone, right? But it's not consistent. If you want consistency, it's all about comboing util together with your teammates, and that's what we want to do. And after you take that space, and let's say you get a couple kills, perfect. Now we can get the bomb down. Now our role is to stop the enemy from getting a good retake in, right? So we want this bomb to blow up, so we need to really stall for time. So maybe we have a Killjoy or something back in main with lineups on the molly. Maybe have a Viper, maybe we have anything like that. At this point, we have pretty much blown all of our utility trying to get out on a bomb site. So that's why you'll see a lot of good duelist players play very aggressively in post plant. right? So as a duelist player, if I picked up a kill or two here, I'm probably going to push pretty aggressively, and maybe I'm going to take this space, right? And now I'm going to chill. Or I'm going to play in like a corner like this. You need to just be a bit of a menace to stall for time. Because if you just peek and die instantly, you've lost all value, right? You're off the map, and that's the end of it. Whereas if you can play a little bit aggressively, maybe you grab another kill, maybe you get your grenade back. That's the kind of thing we're looking for, right? That's a really good round then. And that's essentially your job as a duelist or as Raze, right? It's not about going and just clicking 50 heads, right? If we just wide swing mid and frag out, that's a great round, but it's not going to happen every time. Sometimes this guy's going to lay you out, you know what I mean? It's just a hard fact of it. So that's kind of the most consistent and easy way, is to take space that your teammates are allowing you to take. Don't start going 1v9, you know what I mean? You can try and fight for these neutral zones with your boombot, but if the enemies start investing a lot, you guys need to invest a lot as well. So get buddy-buddy with your breach is the best thing I can say for attack. I'm going to talk about some of the plays you can do on attack as well, because I realize I haven't. But like, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, right? So a very, very common play here is to have an Omen in sewers, and he blinds heaven for you. And then you can double satchel heaven with no fear, right? You can run up, and you can kill the guy who's blind. That's very good util usage together. Now your other way, like when your teammates aren't properly playing together, it's going to get harder, but it's still possible. That's when we really need to get smart with our util, right? So we're on split, so we'll just do split, for example, right? Usually going to hold here at the start. You can peek up ramps, play this corner, and now we own this space, right? At this point, you can either throw your boombot up here, or you can throw your boombot around here. If this gets smoked off, I like doing this one. And now we can get out onto the site, right? This is probably smoked right now. So what I usually like doing, there's a couple different plays. I'm just on split, so I'm going to talk about the split ones. Couple different plays. One of them is throwing your nade here, and then satcheling out like this into this corner. You kind of want to get in this corner. Other kind of play is nading like here, and satcheling like out here, trying to kill the elbow guy. You know what I mean? It's about those kind of plays. You need to get yourself into cover is the key when you're on attack, right? When you're on these entries, if you're in cover and you can get yourself in a 1v1, it's a lot easier for you. And the other kind of play here, this is a sneaky one I like to do, is actually nading here and just diving into your own nade, because the enemy don't expect it. You can see I took barely any damage here. And if you run into your own nade, it kind of covers the sound of you landing. So the enemy don't know where you are, and then you can come up behind him and shoot him in the back, especially if he's playing on this blue screen. But that's the kind of stuff you want to do, right? When you're on this proper entry, you usually want to combo your nade with the double satchel, right? In any way you want it to go. And that's the key. Also, if you have your rocket, it's kind of, you know, it makes life a lot easier for you, because you can actually take fights in midair. So, like, you can go for a bit of a play like this, and it's a lot better, because you have a rocket launcher. And that's the kind of stuff we're looking to do on attack. Alright, so for Raze on defense, it's usually about fighting for key zones and keeping that control, right? Raze is actually also very good on defense because of plays like this, right? Let's say the enemy start and execute here, maybe Jet or Raze satchels out, and you're holding a nade here. If you nade this choke now, you see the enemies can't come out. Again, it's that visual clutter as well of the grenade blowing up, so they can't see very much. You can see? And this Jet or Raze is isolated now on site, which is insane for you, because that means you can flick over to them and fight them 1v1, and you have the advantage because you know where they are, and usually they're not accurate while they're dashing or satcheling out. So now you have the advantage on them, and you can just get a free kill on it. Just like that. Completely easy, free. Other thing that makes Raze really good on defense is, remember the way I was talking about the satchels being able to boop enemies? Like, it knocks them up like this, except that it boops the enemies a lot less than you. So what you can do is, let's say the enemies start putting pressure on, right? You nade this off. Maybe you get a 1v1 just from this nade alone. Bang. Now we can satchel the floor like this. And think about it from the enemy's point of view, right? The enemy want to trade their teammate, right? You just gotta kill. They really want to trade your teammate. But there's this satchel in the way. So if they walk up and fight you, you just blow up the satchel and they get booped in the air. which means they have to walk backwards and shoot the satchel. Which gives you either time to get a better angle, maybe you jump up here, or it gives you time to just run away. You have those options now, just because you threw this one satchel, right? And a lot of the time, you can just stay sitting here, right? You throw it, they blow it up, you throw it again, and they don't expect a second one. And then they peek into it, you blow them up again, and then you get another free kill. It's very, very strong for holding down these little annoying places like this, right? The satchel is a very, again, very versatile ability. Super strong. So that's a couple plays you can do. You also have your boombot to get information. So let's say the enemy are playing super safe and they're playing quite quiet, right? You're sitting here, you're like jump peeking this and you can't see anything. So then you just toss your boombot down here, you'll check the map, there's nothing going on. And this boombot can give you some information, right? That's the key, is the boombot will give you a little bit of information. Of course, you get the boombot a little bit deeper, like from here. Gives you a lot more information on what the enemy are actually doing. Which is also very, very strong. So you can see Raze has got all this different utility to stall and to get information. And she also has mobility, which is why she's so good. And another great thing you could do on defense, let's say you get an early rocket and you have, for some reason, you think they're going to come A, right?
There.
You'll see a lot of high elo Raze mains do this. They'll be like, I think they're going to come A, right? A lot of players, you know, intuition, whatever you want to call it, they just have a really good feeling they're coming A. So as the barriers drop, you can just go for a crazy or aggro rocket play then. And I'd actually recommend you do this often enough. Even if you whiff the rocket, it's worth it just to keep learning. You know what I mean? I personally, like, even if you lose a ranked game or two just because you lost a rocket like this, I personally think you like will learn a lot more and you'll get better at the mobility, that it's probably worth it in the long run. But that's just me. Again, pure risk play, but I think it's quite strong, even in the high elo tiers. If you catch them off guard like this, it's insane. It's just really strong. But you can see Raze has so much utility here, and that's just for stall, right? This is the other thing. You can play it like attack, right? Now, Split is not the greatest map for this to push super aggressively, but we're on Split, so I'm just going to go over it. Maps like Fracture are very strong for this, but that's not in the pool right now. So again, we can be standing here off spawn, right? And I could have my Breach chilling over, you know, maybe he's over in this corner, right? He's standing here and he's chilling. He's got his stun out, and just like that, I can then instantly off spawn barriers go and take a fight. Now we have full B main control. If there's nobody here, that's also free information. You can see it's a lot about information and stall on defense. And your retake is so good too. It's very strong. And not to mention, Raze also has really good utility to stop the enemy from planting. Now, this nade, like your nade, completely gets someone off the plant. The satchel, it will actually boop the enemy off the bomb if you get it under them, which is very strong. As long as the satchel slightly gets them off the ground, it will stop them from planting. So you have very good stall potential again. So like, let's say the enemy are planting behind the box here. Very common plant spot, default, but you can toss a grenade like this. This is a lineup. Just, you know, one free of charge, by the way. This little pillar guy here, if you aim underneath this and just running nade on the wall, you'll see that will actually just straight up kill the planter. So he has to get off. If he's halfway stuck through the bomb, he won't think it's going to kill him, and then it actually will. So this one, very strong nade. I use it all the time. Same thing like over here, right? Let's say this is smoked and the enemy are planting here, right? You can just toss a satchel like that, and that will get him off the bomb. And then you can do it again. That is like, you make the bomb plant go from like 7 seconds, I think it is. No, it's 4 actually, it's 4, I don't know what I'm talking about. You make the bomb plant go from 4 to like 12, you know what I mean? You can like triple how long it takes them to plant, which rotates over, maybe you get more players from A. Very strong agent, and there's so many different plays, and I can't really talk about every single play. Because there's just so much on Raze. You really have to get in the server and keep playing it and try it out. There's so many good plays on this agent. This is why I think she's one of the best agents in the game. But yeah. I think that's everything for defense. So yeah, we will move on. Alright, so I'm just gonna have a summary of pretty much everything I spoke about. So again, on attack, your grenade is a very, very important ability. Very good for clearing these annoying angles. Like, let's say there's a guy hiding in this corner, right? You can go and chuck your nade off the wall like this and blow him up. And then you can just hold him, right? So you chuck your nade on the wall. You can do a lot better than that. But you know what I mean, right? These annoying corners, you can blow them up in the corner. And you can just hold them and wait for their peek, because they either peek you or they die. That's their only options, right? You can also combo it with your entry. Don't forget. Like this. Again, Breach is your best friend. We like Breach, we like Sky, we like Flashes, we like Info. Those are the agents we like. Which is why, as a duelist, Initiators are your best friend. On defense, it's all about that stall. It's all about that, you know, really annoying grenades in the choke to split up the enemies. Very strong. And another thing as well, as Raze, you're not really an anchor, right? An anchor would be like, let's say, on this map, you might have a Cypher here, or you might have a Cypher over here, or an Omen or something like that, right? Those kind of anchor agents, maybe it's an Astra. One of those, like, controller, or sometimes it's actually even a Sky, right? Because Sky gets that early info and people can rotate. As Raze, you're very much a quick rotator, right? So if we don't hear anything here, we're like, okay, I'm gone. Goodbye. And then we just run over, you know, and start fighting where there's actual things to do. That's pretty much how you're going to play Raze on that defense. Again, you have really good stall capabilities. Sorry. Like the nade here. Very, very, very good. And your rocket is terrible. It's pretty good, but it's 8 ult points and it's kind of 50-50. So that's essentially everything. I'm not going to go over the satchels in this guide. I've already got a full guide on it. The satchels have not changed once in the guide. The guide's a little bit older, but the satchels have not changed at all, so I'm not going to go over it again. I went over it in my very first guide too. There's a lot of satchel content there, and I think I've done a pretty good job there, and I can't really explain it again, because it confuses me talking about it sometimes. So I'm going to leave the link to the guide. I'll leave it in the comments as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything to talk about with Raze. I love this agent with a passion. And honestly, everyone else who picks up this agent usually loves it too. It's very fun, man. There's so much to do on this agent. Even if we only have our same 7 maps, this agent is just extremely fun. So yeah. Anyway, that's gonna pretty much be everything. Join the Discord. I'll leave that in the description as well. Follow me on Twitch. I play Raze Gaming on it. I also play Jet and Neon. And yeah, like, sub, all that shit. And yeah, we'll see you later.